Daily Tech News with Alan Smithson.
Good morning. Welcome to Daily Tech News. Today is Thursday, June 27th, and I do apologize. This will not be going to LinkedIn today. There's an error between StreamYard and LinkedIn, so apologize for that. It's only on YouTube today. Make sure you hit subscribe anyway on YouTube because I'm trying to grow this, and the more it grows, the more it will be put in front of you, and you'll get all the daily tech news every single day. Let's get started with something that I wish I didn't have to talk about, but people are dying from extreme heat in India and other parts of the world, and more than 1,300 Muslim pilgrims have died from extreme heat. And it says if the current trend persists into the future, human survival in the region will be impossible without continuous access to air conditioning. It says the Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia has been deadly, with more than 1,300 Muslims dying this month, with extreme hot weather averaging over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is not new. This happens a lot. And, their official, thing was, oh, these are unauthorized pilgrims. Therefore, they didn't have dedicated visas. Therefore, they didn't have access to hotel reservations. That's a bullshit excuse for the fact that the world is getting hotter, and we need to think about these climate change problems and how they are going to affect not just the Muslim community in the Middle East or in India, but also in North America, because experts fear that horrifying heat waves could kill tens of thousands of people at once. We could have the Hurricane Katrina of extreme heat on our hands. There's a book called, what was it called? The Future. I'll get to it in a second here. But there's a book that predicted this, and I was listening to the book, and it made me cry because it was one of those things where you're listening and you're like, wow, this is a horrible future, and it's happening now. And it says American cities are ill-suited for the heat. The asphalt and concrete that dominate our infrastructure mercilessly intensify it, driving outdoor temperatures in urban areas up by an additional 20 degrees Fahrenheit on a hot afternoon. We can often ignore the fact that we've trapped ourselves into metropolis-scaled frying pans, however, thanks to air conditioning in our homes and cars. So because we have air conditioning, we kind of ignore the fact that we have created this uptick in global heat waves. It says, but the uptick of extreme weather attributed to climate change, plain old heat included, has continually put many cities' energy grids under threat. So what happens when those AC units suddenly lose power? If a blackout hits during a blistering heat wave, an absolute catastrophe would happen, according to experts in a piece for the New York Times. And it says, the heat will kill you first. In one extreme scenario befalling an American city, over 10,000 people could die as a result of a single heat wave, sending hundreds of thousands of more to the hospital. And this is just something we need to really think about. We are driving up the heat in the world. The planet is warming, and the polar ice caps are melting. So sea rise is happening. All of this is happening. And, here's another one. Grim irony. Curbing air pollution is warming the earth faster. And this is kind of like intuitive here, or counterintuitive rather. The idea that we actually have slowed the use of some things like sulfur oxide, deadly pollutants that kind of pollute our air and the air we breathe. However, those same things that we stopped polluting with in ships are actually, we're blocking some of the sunlight from getting in. So we're kind of damned if we do and damned if we don't here. So we really do need a lot more study on this. We need a lot more dedicated research and also action. We need governments and corporations to take action on this, because we're all on this planet together. And regardless of whether you work for a company or a government, it doesn't matter. We're all people on this planet together. So let's try to figure this out. Now, on positive news, a new AI model was designed to help prevent these power outages in electrical grids. And the University of Buffalo engineers are creating a model to make the nation's grid more resilient and better apt to deal with extreme weather. Self-healing smart grids have rapid and intelligent control mechanisms to minimize power disruptions during outages. During power distribution network outages, corrective actions involve reconfiguration through switching control and emergency load shedding. However, traditional decision-making models for outage mitigation are not appropriate for smart grids due to their slow response and computational inefficiency. And they are working on something that will do this within milliseconds. So there is hope. And another one that I want to share that's positive is this company here called Synhelion opens the first industrial scale solar plant for synthetic fuels. If you see all of these mirrors here, they all reflect sunlight into a central capture. And it's interesting because they send this mirror field up into a solar receiver, and then it turns into thermal energy into fuel production. So they're using solar energy to create synthetic fuel production that can be used in place of gas and jet fuel and gasoline, diesel, all of these things. So the idea here is that syngas, or synthetic gas, will be able to be produced at scale using the power of the sun. So we're able to still use oil and gas and these things that we need to produce energy for our cars and our planes and these things, but it will be clean and not dug out of the ground. Okay, another thing we can do is create circular food systems, and these can revolutionize sustainability. A new study by Wageningen University shows the transition to a circular food system can dramatically reduce emissions and land use. And redesigning the European food system to a circular one can cut greenhouse gas emissions by up to 70% and reduce agricultural land use by 44%. In addition, if the amount of the animal-based protein is reduced and substituted by plant-based protein, land use can go down by 60% and emissions by 81%. I actually wrote an open letter to McDonald's CEO in 2017 talking about the use of alternative proteins and lab-grown meat instead of the hamburger that we get from cows, because if we can grow the meat in labs and we don't have to grow it as a cow, we reduce this dramatically. And the interesting thing about the amount of water used to grow 1 kilogram of beef is about 14,000 liters of water for every kilogram of beef. So creating a circular economy or circular food systems can help us with that. Over to AI. Sam Altman says, sorry, AI is definitely destroying jobs. Jobs are definitely going to go away, full stop. I don't know how I feel about this. I like working. I think most people do like having something to do and go to work and earn money and have camaraderie with people and build something. So if AI is working on replacing all of our jobs, what are we going to do? How are we going to pay our bills? Are we going to have some sort of UBI, or universal basic income? And it says a lot of people working on AI pretend that it's only going to be good. It's only going to be a supplement. No one is ever going to be replaced. Jobs are definitely going to go away, full stop. And a report by McKinsey anticipates and predicts that between 400 and 800 million jobs will be lost to automation by 2030. In 5.5 years, almost triple the population of America will be unemployed based on automation. So what does that mean? It could mean, because this is the CTO of OpenAI, that they think, maybe those jobs shouldn't have been there in the first place. So the jobs that you enjoy, creative designer, writer, the artist, middle manager, financier, all of those jobs, maybe they shouldn't have been there in the first place, she says. This is a very trite stance to take when we're talking about building technologies that will replace and create an existential threat to not only artists, but all of us. So I don't know how I feel about Mira Murati and her talking about, creative jobs. She says some creative jobs maybe will go away, but maybe they shouldn't have been there in the first place. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't like that. That doesn't sound good to me. And then she says, I'm not an economist, but I certainly anticipate that a lot of jobs will change. Some jobs will be lost, some jobs will be gained. And her view, it will be strictly repetitive jobs that will be obsoleted by AI. So you're saying writing is a repetitive job? AI is already replacing that. Art, graphic design, all of these things? I don't know. I don't believe it. I think this is coming. It is happening. I just think we need to plan for it a little bit better. Okay, enough of my opinion on that. let's talk about what you can do to prepare. Is your company on track for AI revolution? So this is from Ali K. Miller. She's an AI voice on LinkedIn, and she created this nice little thing here. It says, is your company on track with Gen AI? And it says here, belief. If you believe AI is a toy and AI is all hype, you are behind. If you believe AI is a tool and it helps me be more efficient, you are on track. And if you believe AI is a system and AI will shift how we work, you are ahead. And these are really a mindset that you need to think about. Policy on AI usage bans all versions and forms of Gen AI, or the opposite, you are behind. Allows only a few tools, you are on track. And uses a multi-tier AI tool usage approach using 2 to 3 tools, including a policy that allows employees to test new free consumer tools safely. Then you are ahead of the tool. So if you're reading this, you should go through this list and align yourself to be ahead of the world on this, because it is coming, whether it takes our jobs or not. There is no putting the genie back in the bottle here. Okay, over to some more fun stuff. This is actually really neat. This is from Infocom this year. And the idea here is they're using a mister, a mist spray, and then projecting a hologram on top of a mist. I just thought that was a really neat way of creating a hologram in midair. So very cool. Over to something more fun. Coaster Mania is coming. This is a new virtual reality experience where you can design your own roller coaster. Now, if you like vomiting in your own house, then this is for you. But if you have a strong stomach and you don't mind being in VR on a roller coaster, this could be super fun. You get to design your own roller coaster and then ride it in VR, in your space, in mixed reality. So imagine you're in the roller coaster flying through your living room. Fun, right? Super fun. Okay, leave that one alone. Now, I will end on this because the XR market, the virtual augmented mixed reality market, is set to reach, well, this year, it will be $35 billion market. The XR market will be $35 billion this year in 2024. So it is already a massive market, and it's going to double in the next couple of years to $70 billion. So we're just starting to see the real massive growth of virtual augmented mixed reality and head-worn devices and 3D and all the technologies that are around this. The major use cases being gaming, obviously, retail, collaboration, and also training. Training is one of the biggest ones as well. Jack Soslow from A16Z says, we believe AR and VR is amongst the most underrated markets today. Quest has similar sales trajectory to the iPhone. The time is now. And if you're interested in investing, please reach out to me. I have some investments that I've been working on with some people in the XR industry, and I think you'll be interested if you are looking to invest in this industry. Now, how does it break down versus consumer and enterprise? Right now, the entire XR market, about 71% is enterprise, but we expect that to kind of even out to consumer over the next few years as well. That's what I have for you today. That has been Daily Tech News with Alan Smithson, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Let's try our best to make this world a better place by using AI and these tools, not only to set us free from the drudgery of boring work, but also to create new solutions to solving things like global warming, climate change, and food instability. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Cheers. Peace.